fire, 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 fire.
Civ 7 is broken. I love Civ. I don't know, man. Every Civ since like Civ 5 just hasn't hit the same. I always go to Civ 5 and like modded the ever living shit out of it.
Hello there, ladies and gents. Welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Wow.
It's finally here, and I've been given early access to the game to help find bugs, exploits, and glitches. Of course, this game has been in development for 10 years, so I didn't actually find anything. Okay, I'm lying, of course I did. And that's why today I'm going to show you why the Roman Legion is stronger than a modern tank. Now, if I asked you to visualize what would happen if the entire US military-industrial complex decided to attack the Roman Empire, you would very rightly say that it wouldn't be a fair fight. I mean, how does a sword even go through the armor of a tank? I guess we have to find out. Welcome to Civ 7, our vessel for today's science experiment. In this game, you must pick a leader to go on a journey through the ages with. Along the way, you research new technologies, discover new civics, expand your borders, exploit your resources, and exterminate whichever person is playing Catherine the Great, because my goodness, they are far too overpowered.
Yes! Catherine overpowered! Let's go! I like playing as the Russians, I do.
We're going to be playing as Lafayette, who the game describes as cultural and diplomatic. Historically speaking, Lafayette is a dastardly Frenchman who helped the Americans in that war that they don't stop going on about. Oh, and he speaks French.
Caution et la modération.
We're going to start in the Antiquity Age as the Romans. Now I'll explain why this leader and nation combo is completely broken in a minute, but first, let's just get into the game.
Alright.
Wabam, Rome is born. Whilst this might seem like a big scary strategy game, it's actually very simple. A bit like—
No, Civ is the simplest form of like RTSs. Not RTSs, but turn-based strategic games, for sure.
Dave, the average coffee
It's
drinker,
not easy,
with a few
but
basic choices, Scout or Warrior.
Yeah, 4X
the answer is always
games,
Scout.
yeah.
Scout is the most sensible option. You need them to hunt for
I
goody
like it.
hunts. On the second turn, everything gets a little bit more complicated. Namely, where do we
Not
move our
RTS,
Scout?
I
Where are the
misspoke,
nearby
chill.
goody huts? And then, what do we produce in the city? We get a granary for faster population growth or a second Scout. It's always a second Scout.
Yes,
Then
based!
technology comes up. Do you go sailing, pottery, animal husbandry? It's always pottery. You go pottery because then you get to writing, which gives you the library for more science. And more science means more technologies, which
More
means quicker
science.
production, which means we can get military out even faster.
And you could also get to the Great Library in Civ 5.
It's just the optimal route.
Yes.
Yes, I know it looks like you need to research sailing to also unlock writing, but that's just because this game currently
The
has
Great
bad
Wonder.
UI. Alright, let's beeline our little scout over towards this goody hut. And what do we get? A bunch of culture. That seems good to me. We've
Alright.
discovered our first AI friend. It is a city-state. City-states can be friendly or hostile, but
Conquer
by
it.
potentially befriending them, you can gain powerful
Conquer
bonuses.
it.
Right, on turn 6, we finally unlock our government decisions. We have a few wonderful options. Classical Republic for cultural wanderers, an oligarchy for extra food and constructing, or my personal favorite, despotism. All
More
hail the mighty
science.
despots. Now, when you get to this stage of the game and you get your government, you get some option to add in some policies. You start with 2 and you usually need to make a decision because you only get 1 slot. However, this game introduced a mechanic called mementos, which are special bonuses that you can bring into the game, kind of like a roguelike element. And in this case, I've chosen the 2 most
okay.
overpowered in my opinion, an additional social policy slot and
Oh, that's fucking broken. What the hell? An extra social policy?
increased science efficiency from great works. This one in particular is the most overpowered in
That's
the game.
insane.
But by doing so, I'm able to have a
That's
very
not
powerful
balanced
start
at
by getting both
all.
of these bonuses at the same time. This shaves 2 entire turns off our discovery of discipline, which in
Wow.
turn reduces the time it will take to deploy our strategy. Right, now I've started researching our first Roman civic. This will eventually give us a tradition. Traditions are like social policies, but they're specific to your nation and can be
Right.
kept all the way through the ages of the game. And I guess I should probably explain why we're actually playing as Lafayette. Well, Lafayette has a very cool little bonus. We gain +1 combat strength from putting traditions in our social policy slot. This is then boosted by our diplomatic ability called Reform, that gives us an extra social policy slot for only 180 influence. This then gets an
180 influence. You have 110 on like turn 6 already. That's broken AF!
Extra boost with the Roman unique unit, the Legion. This unit gets +2 combat strength per tradition in the government. So basically,
oh, he has insane scaling. Okay, I can see where this is going.
it's a duplicate of Lafayette's ability, but twice as strong. So our plan of attack here is to get extra social policies, unlock traditions, and build legions to conquer the world with. My dream is to have a legion that is more powerful than the
That
modern day
scaling is
tank.
kinda
If we can do that, then
crazy,
I'd be
bro.
very happy. Alright, we've discovered our first city-state friend. They're the village of
kill 'em!
Sundapura. They're not friendly and they kind of hate us. However, they're a military city-state, which means if we befriend them, we can get some kind of nice military bonus. Well, we've discovered our first foreign civilization. It's Frederick Baroque, playing as the Egyptians. Unfortunately, this man is German, so yes, chances are he's going to want to try and fight us. Wait, hang on a second, we're
Little
playing as
clip
two
there,
natural
okay,
enemies. I
yeah.
am French, he is German, and I am playing as the Romans, and he's the Egyptians. This seems awfully too good to be true. Alright, our capital
This is
city
silly,
has finally
bro.
grown to a point where we can add silk into our trade network. Silk is a nice little bonus resource to have, because by plopping it into our capital, we get plus 10% culture. For our strategy, culture is massively important, as it
Yeah.
allows us to unlock civic abilities and traditions even faster. Ooh, spend 50 gold for an extra
Ramping
population in my
chat.
capital city. Don't mind if I do, little goody hut. Thank you very much. We
these
get
are
our
like
first
ruins,
little
essentially.
celebration. This is a great day for us because it means we can choose to focus on science. And every time we celebrate, we unlock a new social policy slot, meaning we can have free policies on the go. Oh, and is that another civilization? Yep, it's Himiko. Her city is located somewhere over here. Now, the AI in this version of civilization is pretty decent.
TOS.
They're definitely much more
Little
intelligent
AI
than Civ
boo.
6 AI, and the deity difficulty is actually kind of fun. The AI doesn't cheat quite as egregiously as in previous versions. Alright, am I
I hate AI generally speaking that just ramps through. But they basically start with extra shit. What is it like in Deity? They used to start with like 3 or 4 or 5 extra technology. It's so dumb. I think it's so unfair. It's not even about skill. It's like, oh, we're literally cheating. It's like, that's not fun.
capital city, we're now able to
You're not
start
learning
constructing
anything.
technological buildings like the library, and I finally have enough influence to start befriending this nearby tribe of independent peoples. It'll take 30 turns to pull off, but if we can do it, we'll end up with a very powerful ally indeed. Oh, we've got another border. It's Machiavelli playing as Greece. It's a very cheeky little sausage. Right, now we are about to get our first
Sausage.
little town settled,
Gets so
which is a little bit
aggressively
behind
British,
some of the
bro.
AIs. Himiko's managed to get her second little city out, and so has Frederic
Sausage.
somewhere, probably down off to the south. Now, in this version of the game, you don't instantly settle cities. You first settle towns, and then the towns can be improved into becoming cities eventually.
Oh.
But a town's job is to feed a capital, which is exactly what we want to do. And by settling
Oh.
this town near this massive desert structure, we're able to
different.
now generate culture off of these desert tiles. Now, if we take a look at the other civilizations in the game, we can actually see their current yields. We can see that we're in the lead when it comes to culture, but when it comes to science, Himiko is king. Or
Well,
queen,
she's Korea, yeah. Korea's really good science.
I guess. And Frederick, for some
Stats,
reason,
I
has
mean,
rejected
science
science
civ.
entirely for a cultural-based society. What are you doing, Frederick?
He's shit in the
By the time I
bed.
come and attack you, you're still going to be throwing rocks around. Now, unfortunately for us, it does appear that those dastardly evil Sagunias here are on their way to try and murder us. They are sending a small invasion force of warriors to our capital city, which
Oh.
is, you know, a minor inconvenience. Ouch. Luckily for us,
Ow.
next turn we're going to be building ourselves our first warrior, who will be valiantly defending us on the front lines. And our secondary town of Mediolanum is doing a great job of producing food and culture. And here we have it, our first
Oh, it's Himiko Japan? Oh, okay, never mind. I think Japan is also a semi-science civ. They're like a science military civ, aren't they? You're right. I haven't played Civ 7 that much, so I might be wrong.
warrior. Now, this isn't just a warrior by himself, for you see, he is standing on top of a noble legatus. Yes, this brave man
Legatus,
is a general
Ligmanuts.
who can give his unit special abilities. Like, for example, we can have him order all of the units in his sphere of influence, which is just the one that he's standing on top of, to attack an enemy. And in doing so, they'll have +2 combat strength. This means that
Ooh,
instead
that's
of
good.
attacking for 20 combat strength, we can attack for 22. It's a minor difference, but it actually does add up after a while. This also gives our general Gabriel a little bit of experience for being on the front lines, and soon we'll be able to improve him. Yes, that scared them off. Good. All right, let's ride out to meet them and go to war. Oh, and also use this opportunity to buy ourselves a settler, because we need to settle more cities.
More cities. Correct.
Now fantastically, we've got a little narrative event whereby we've been given a great work. I would like to demonstrate the glorious power of great works thanks to our little memento which increases science efficiency. Because what we can do is in our capital we're making 7.3 science per turn and 19 science overall. But we can slot this great work into one of our buildings, and not only will it give us an additional 2 science, but because of our memento we selected at the start of the game, it also gives us a multiplier. So that as our science increases, it increases at a faster rate. Now, it may not seem like the flashiest buff, but oh my, is it ridiculously overpowered later in the game. And as this city-state is slowly becoming our friends, they're starting to actually gift us free things, like this warrior that they've just handed out. Nice. We can use this warrior to help fight these other barbarians and generate important experience for our Legatus.
Kill him!
And there we go. With that unit defeated, our Legatus is ready to level.
Your mom needs help. Need a babysitter. If you need a babysitter system, another babysitter die, can I have them watch you instead? I'm gonna end stream in like probably like 20 minutes. I don't think I can. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I can't. Click-a-clack-a! I don't know, Chacha wants something? Oh, they need help. I'm sorry. Your mom's under attack. Guys, I'm sorry. I would if I was streaming for like another hour or so. I'm confused. I have no idea. I'm a little confused too. What's the stream? Oh crap, I can't click. What? I don't know. They'll figure it out. I'm sorry. What? Why did you link that? Who
Up, which
Anyway, sorry. We'll keep the video going. I'm sorry. What the hell? I don't know what's going on.
is fantastic. These levels can be pretty powerful, like giving you money for each unit in the army. And then they can go down to the outright absurd, like giving potential units a second attack. In our case, we want to buff the attacking strength of our combat infantry units. Right, we're going to be settling our second town now. The reason we're settling it over here, right next to Frederick's capital, is not because we necessarily want to upset him. It's mostly because there's a source of iron here. Now, iron is a really weird resource because for each iron in our trading network, all of our units gain a flat +1 combat strength. And fantastic.
Wait, they added that instead. That's kind of busted, man. It's not dependent on the iron to make units now. It's like an actual flat buff.
So we've become the suzerain of Sundapura, which means we can grab this permanent ability here. +1 combat strength for our infantry units for every city-state that we're a suzerain of. Wonderful. That means that our warriors' combat strength has now been improved. So with one tradition in our government, our attack power is 20 free strength, which is much better than the base 20 that warriors have, giving us a nice advantage over these various barbarian tribes.
Yeah, get shit on.
Culture is currently absolutely flying off into the stratosphere, and the main reason that's the case is thanks to this natural wonder. It is so good. Oh wow, Machiavelli is denouncing me. Oh, that means he's really mad at me. Oh,
I always thought denouncing was such a stupid mechanic in Civ, man. I remember playing my first games and I'd get spam denounced and I'm like, what the hell?
upset he's trying to damage our relationship. Well, I mean, that's okay. He can do that. It doesn't really bother me. It's just a bit of a shame, really. Guess he's so upset that I've settled near to his capital.
I used to say, like, if the first person to denounce me in every game, you get killed first. Just watch.
You should probably rename it to Cry Baby, seeing that's what he's doing.
True!
Right, I'm going to buy myself another settler. That's going to take our settlement amount up to 4. And my goal is to settle over near this iron resource, which will be very nice.
Ooh.
Now, one of the coolest changes to the game is that these great generals not only provide combat bonuses, they provide logistical advantages. You see, I can click this button to assemble an army, and it picks up all of the units nearby and loads them into horseback, allowing me to then safely transport them to wherever I need them to be.
I hated managing armies like in Civ 5. At the end of the game, it would take you so long to like actually move armies around. It was quite irritating.
Like,
That's
say,
nice.
the front steps
I'll
of
admit
Frederick's
that.
capital. I'm also going to reform my government to add in 2 more traditional social policies,
Ooh,
plus
more
5%
buffs!
production towards military
Yay!
units in my capital for every town we have, and plus 1 production on urban districts. It's not the biggest economical improvement, however, it's a huge boost to our potential combat damage. Oh, and fantastic. We got another celebration, which means we can grab in our
it's like Golden
4th
Ages,
tradition.
yeah.
This is now our final tradition in our government, meaning our military units are fully buffed
He's on turn 58 and he's already maxed out.
from our leader and nation cheese combination. And we now get the opportunity to decide how we want to focus our empire. Additional production towards range units or legions.
Don't
Of
scratch
course
that.
it's legions. Right, we're going to settle down our next northern city up here so that we can grab
Nice.
this iron and
Next
add
to
it
the
to our
iron.
network. One cool thing that happens every time we settle a new city is a legion spawns inside of it. Now this normally wouldn't be that powerful, however it synergizes with this ability here, whereby training an infantry unit we get 25% of its production
That's OP.
cost as culture, which is part of the reason we were able to unlock all our traditions so early. This includes even just buying them. So in a few turns' time, I can buy a legion in this city for 240 gold, which will be a good idea because it looks like Machiavelli is about to invade us. Right, so I'm going to buy our first
fuck that
legion
guy.
in this settlement. Wabam, gives us a nice little culture boost. Now, this legion is only 25 combat strength. It's not the greatest unit in the game. In fact, I think it's less powerful than the Greek hoplite. However, I've got a bunch of policies slotted into my government that is going to make me even more powerful. Oh, Machiavelli really doesn't like me. Wow. Well, I think that probably means I'm doing something right. Now, in 1 turn's time, their denouncement of mine shall end, which will probably mean that they're going to declare war. And yep, there it is. It's war, ladies and gentlemen. Machiavelli has thrown the gauntlet down. He says,
For those that don't know, in early game, you basically can't just like randomly attack people. You have to denounce them and then wait for the denouncement to go down, and then you can declare war on them.
to be caught unarmed is the worst fault. Well,
Otherwise, it'd be really broken if you could just attack them instantly.
I think actually you'll find that I am caught very well armed. Now, despite the graphics slightly breaking out, you will notice that my lovely Legion here, which says it has a combat strength of 25, actually has a little bit more. Now, 44 combat strength might
Holy crap, man. He's gonna shit on him.
not sound like much. This hoplite only has a
Yeah,
base of
surprise
20,
wars
and
exist,
we're
you're
meant to
right.
have a base of 25.
like,
Yes, it is
base
very
wars.
silly indeed. Now, 12 of this combat strength comes from having traditions in our government. This is why we played as Rome and Lafayette in combination. We get 2 from the iron resources in our trade network, 3 from bronze working, and 2 from our city-states, taking us up to 44 combat strength. So yes, we're going to run over and do 58 damage and receive only 10 in return. That
That's
seems fair to
crazy.
me. Anyway, we're going to march our way up and take control of Machiavelli's capital. It's not like he's going to be doing anything with it. Right, so he is now starting
Yeah,
to
frick
try and
him. Frick
attack
the
us. But
French.
that's fine, because I can drop out my legionary unit here, which will do 42 damage. There is this negative effect called war weariness affecting us. This is because Machiavelli is spending influence points to favor him in the war. We can spend a few more to
Oh.
balance that back out in our favor and do an additional damage in the combat phase. Nice, that's 69 damage, meaning we can finish off this fight with
69.
absolute ease. Right, it's time for the next turn, and we're going to march onto the capital. Bring up all of our lovely forces. This is Machiavelli's only city, so after destroying it, he will quite simply spontaneously explode out
He's
of
just
existence.
dead.
And as good as
Lamau.
it is that he has tried to
Good.
build defenses
Get
on
rid
his
of the
capital city,
Frenchies.
it's not going to go well for him. Now, we could manually attack this city with our legion here. He's now up to a combat strength of 46. To put this into comparison, the Katusha rocket launcher from the modern age has a combat strength of 45.
He's the equivalent of a fucking rocket launcher in turn like 70.
meaning that this
Oh
Roman
my
legionary
God.
here is as deadly as a self-propelled artillery battery. Now, of course, we're going to attack this settlement
That's
in
power
style,
right there.
using the coordinated attack ability, meaning all of our units that attack get an additional +2
if
combat
they just
strength,
throw
taking
men
our
out
lovely
at the
legion here
wall?
up to 49. So let's go. In you attack, my friends. Lovely.
Boom.
Huge damage across the board. And I believe with this final attack
And
here,
bam.
the settlement is ours. And just like that, we progressed through the age a bit, and the entirety of Machiavelli has been destroyed.
It's a skill issue, Rebozo.
Now, an interesting, awkward thing happens when Machiavelli is defeated from the game. All of his city-state friends are also destroyed. Basically, anyone who he was the suzerain of just gets wiped off the map. I guess
I don't think that's intentional. Wait, Alabama! Wait, why is Alabama on the map?
this is the Civ equivalent of if somehow you managed to destroy England, Wales and Scotland would just blink out of existence as
I was about to say, I don't think that's intentional. Like, that's probably just an early release problem.
well.
Where's
And again,
Gary,
England already
Indiana?
blinked out
It's
of
coming.
existence because the developers didn't even put it in the game. I'll forgive you one day, Sid, but not now. Oh, fantastic. I've also managed to build the lovely Colosseum. It's a very jazzy wonder, which also gives us the ability to hold a stage battle. This gives us an extra +2 combat strength on all melee units, meaning we
What?
get an additional bit of combat power. Our next target is, of course, going to be Frederick. His capital just happens to be nearby, and he already hates me, so we might as well destroy him. He's definitely going to be a greater threat than Machiavelli. However, I think it's only fair we declare a formal war against him. And we even have a little bit of war support on our side, which we can boost. And in doing so, our units are going to become even more powerful. All right, now, as we are playing against Frederick, he does have a few advantages in the form of the
Look how
unique
angry he
Egyptian
looks.
unit, the Medjay. It's a really cool unit because you don't have to pay upkeep on it, so it's pretty snazzy. The only problem for poor Frederick is that I have the power of the legions on my side, so I can attack
This
for
is so
48
busted,
combat
man.
power. Yep, let's go. Oh dear, this is not fair at all. We'll knock out
He's
that
getting
unit
shit
there
on.
and march closer towards the capital. Perfect. Yes, this is good. Right, so into this settlement we go. There's just
Turn
one
80,
tiny
by
slender
the
unit
way.
remaining with a measly combat strength of 5 versus our 47.
Oh!
Sorry, Frederick. That's your capital gone, buddy. Oh, we've managed to build Nalanda. This is going to give us a huge amount of great works. And by now having 5 great works in our capital, we get a lovely big boost to our science, so it's up to 48. Right, I think we're doing
a
absolutely
lot.
fantastically now. And we'll begin the process of healing up our military before marching on to the next capital. Now, one of the problems we have is we are slightly over our settlement limit, which means we receive -5 happiness per
no.
settlement to a total of -35 happiness. So we have to hold off a little bit until our culture is caught up to allow us to hold all of these cities. But there is something we can
Yeah,
do to speed up
otherwise
this
they-
process. Remember how every
can
time we
get
train a military
turned
unit, we get
over.
25% of its production cost as culture. Well, because we've stacked so many production modifiers, we're able to train legions in just 1 turn. If we didn't have any
Wow.
modifiers, it would probably take us about 4 to 6 turns. So yes, it's
I
safe
love
to say
this
we're doing
guy.
things quite well. All right, now begins the great production of the legions. This is going to get very silly. So we can see in 3 turns' time, we're meant to research organized military. However, I can buy a legion over here, and that gives us a small amount of culture towards it. But then when we construct this legion in my capital next turn, it brings it forward even further. And let us finish
One
off
more
these
turn,
evil,
let's
pesky
go.
Medjay units and deploy my army ready for the assault. March forwards, my pretties, and let us attack the walls of this city. First bring forwards the Legatus, and then use his powerful
Legatus.
abilities to buff our troops and
I
lead
know
them
what
on for
Legatus is.
glorious battle. There we go, the city is ours. Friedrich is gone. So with 2/3 of the competition eliminated, it's safe to say it's going rather well. However, the end of the Age of Antiquity is drawing near. Having more cities, a larger economy, and better technology, as well as these swanky wonders, will eventually force this age to end, which will end our wars and end our time playing as the Romans. This means I'm now racing against the clock to not only buff my units into
This is what I was talking about. In my opinion, I thought that was kind of lame how they kind of almost force you to like switch civs, you know? I don't know. It's a gripe. I guess it's not that big a deal, but like in my opinion, I think that's a little bit immersion breaking.
unstoppable war machines, but also to have complete map domination by the end of the era. So Frederick and his one little city-state ally has been destroyed, meaning only one civilization remains, Himiko. So in order to rectify that, we're going to have to denounce her, which is going to upset her, but it's very important. If we don't denounce her before we declare war, we will suffer from massive war weariness that we do not want to mess about with. I'm also going to do a classic Roman thing and convert a Greek city into becoming our own. So we're going to pay some extra money to turn Athenia into a lovely Roman settlement. Fantastic. Okay, Himiko is a bit upset by the nearby presence of my military, but that's fine. Basically, we have to keep them there in order to...
Look at Alabama, it's massive.
Keep her upset so that eventually I'll be able to attack without giving her too many advantages. Oh, Himiko is now denouncing me. This is great. The more she hates me, the better. That puts us on an even playing field when it comes to war. And that's what I want. Himiko is actually kind of running away with the game to a certain extent. Her production of world wonders is genuinely impressive. She's got a huge amount of them hidden in her land. The only problem is lovely wonders don't stop angry Roman soldiers.
I'll tell you guys an anecdotal story. There was like 4 of my friends playing Civ 5 back in the day. And I remember I was just getting into Civ because they were all playing it at the same time and I really wanted to play with them, but I was really bored. I didn't know that barbarians can kind of like overwhelm you. And I was building like wonders constantly in like the Middle Ages. And one of my friends that was like, you know, really good at the game, they were like, who's building all these world wonders? And like complaining and like saying like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, hey, can you help me? I'm getting ran over by barbarians. And then at one point in the middle of the game, there's the little notification like, hey, you built the great library of Alexandria. And they're like, Alana, you're building world wonders while your like lands are running rampant with fucking barbarians. Start building a military instead of asking me to help you. And I was like, okay. It was like a really cute moment in my like Civ addiction where I was like, oh, oops.
And those angry Roman soldiers are getting
No,
very
I was
close.
playing. I don't remember what I was playing. I was not playing the French. No, I was playing someone else.
Right, it is turn 111, and I believe it's time to do a little bit of
barbarians
madness.
are clapping my
We're about to hit
cheeks.
the end of the culture tree, which is pretty dangerous indeed, as when this bar fills up to 100%, this age just ends. You can't ask for an extra turn. So we kind of have to go to war now, otherwise the game might be over. So yes, we're going to declare war on Himiko. It says it's a surprise war, even though we both kind of dislike each other. Now, I get an initial war support of 3, they get an initial war support of 2, which should give me a little bit of an advantage. There we go, +1 to my
Mississippi
side.
in war.
Splendid. Now when we attack, we can see that yes, we get a few little advantages. Our legions have a combat strength of 47, which against this Burning Arrow archer unit here that has a combat strength of 4, yes, we are over 10 times as powerful. So we just waltz on in and it is dead. We can then also attack this lovely army commander here and this warrior unit. Perfect. Yep, this capital is going to fall very quickly. We then need to start attacking her little city-state friends. So with a combat strength of 51 combat strength now, which is pretty decent indeed. To put into perspective, a modern-day cruiser boat, according to this game, has a combat strength of 50, meaning that this legendary unit could apparently go toe-to-toe with a warship of the modern age. Yep, this Gladius is able to sink a boat. So of course, yes, we're going to continue our lovely little song forwards, and we attack into the spearmen. We will be attacking for 59 combat damage. My goodness, this is
Grab
absurd.
that bolt by the balls, chat.
We'll die. And then 57 over here. Yep, in we go. Oh, this is just utterly crazy. By the way, these aren't even max leveled legions. This is just the level 2 version. In 7 turns time, we'll finally be able to unlock the level 3, which gives us an additional 5 combat strength, meaning that thing that we saw attack for 59 combat strength, in a few turns time will be up to 64 combat strength. The combat strength of the tank in this game is 65. So yeah. Yes, we are very close to getting this legion up to the power of a modern day tank. Oh, and this turn we also get to capture this little settlement here, which has another lovely source of iron for us to steal. We are just massacring our way through these burning arrow units. The poor guys just really aren't cut out for defending.
No.
Oh my goodness, yes, my spearman is up to 60 damage here. Look at this. 60 damage against this city-state, and we've just unlocked the next tier of legions. Here we go. We can upgrade this warrior to a legion tier 3. Fantastic. That's a base combat strength of 30 as opposed to 25. So even more power, and that's going to get up even higher once we take Alabama and steal its iron. Here we go. Sweet home.
Taking Alabama. I thought I'd never hear that. You can't take the South.
Home Alabama. We did it. Oh, here it is. Look at this. This
You can't
legion
just
right
take
now
Alabama.
is perfection. 69 combat strength. Now that is a nice
Nice.
number indeed.
Nice.
That is more powerful than a tank, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it by turn 120. These humble...
It turned 1200 BCE. They already have a unit that's more powerful than a tank.
little men are
That's
tanks,
not silly or
but with feet
anything.
and pointy sticks and swords. It really doesn't make that much sense. And so with that, we're able to defeat Himiko's remaining units and cities with ease and secure victory all before this age came to an end. So yes, an easy double victory for a British man playing as a French man controlling a Roman nation. It's perfectly
Beautiful.
balanced. And although my challenge is now completed, you can actually continue this cheese in the next age with the Normans, as they also give you combat strength from traditions, and you can carry all of your previously acquired Roman traditions over for an instant boost. Oh, it's even more perfectly balanced. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching today's video, make sure to give it a like. If you'd like to see me break more Civilization 7, then hop on down to the comment section and let me know. What insane things do you want to see actually happen in game? And what impossible challenges do you think there might be? Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.
Ooh. Goodbye, Mr. Spiff and Break. Chad, go check him out. He does like all sorts of like breaking games, he broke YouTube once with a live stream. Yeah, with his audience. That was pretty funny too. He's a cool guy. He's cool. He makes like funny little videos.